So last September, I tested AMD's RX 9060 XT versus Nvidia's RTX 3060 in AI workloads, including LLMs, stable diffusion, and object detection. However, at that time, RDNA 4 was still relatively new and not very well optimized yet. But since then, ROCm version 7 has been released, and in fact, the current version is 7.2. So that means plenty of time has passed and AMD should have implemented the optimizations by now. So that's what we'll be finding out today. I'll be rerunning the same benchmarks I did 9 months ago and see how things have changed. And spoiler alert, the results are pretty impressive. Now before we get into the results, I should point out the link to the first video is in the description. And if you haven't seen it yet, then I suggest you do, because I explain why these two GPUs are interesting competitors with each other. But in a nutshell, these GPUs are budget models that come with a decent amount of VRAM, and the RX 9060 XT is currently the cheapest new 16GB card on the market. However, in the previous video I found that its performance was hit or miss. In some cases it beat the 3060 and in other cases it lost, which isn't very impressive considering the 3060 is 2 generations older. So that's why today's video is a big deal, because it shows that AMD has made some big strides and is becoming a solid contender in the world of AI. Now really quickly, let's go over the test system specs and details about the operating system. This is a custom-built PC running a Ryzen 5900X on an ASRock X570 motherboard with 64 gigs of DDR4 3200 RAM. Both cards were tested in fresh installations of CachyOS, which includes the latest drivers. I should also mention that I was getting sporadic results with the Nvidia card in some tests, especially the YOLO benchmark. I was able to resolve this by downloading LACT and locking it to its maximum clocks. I also tried the same thing with the AMD card, but for some reason this actually resulted in lower scores. So I decided to leave it on auto. In both cases, I did what resulted in the highest scores. Also, all the results you're about to see are averages that were calculated from 3 separate runs. So let's get into the results now by starting with stable diffusion. These tests were done using Comfy UI, and in the previous video I tested 2 models. The first was Flux One Dev at 720p. For this graph here, lower is better. And as you can see, the Nvidia card barely won. But if we look at the recent results, we find the tables have turned in a very convincing way. Now the AMD card has the clear lead over the 3060. This is a surprising result. But now let's move on to the next model that was tested. For this graph, higher is better here. Now in the previous video, I tested the SD 3.5 Turbo model with a low resolution image. But as a viewer pointed out, this model isn't very relevant compared to other models such as SDXL, so this time I included that as well. But what you're looking at now are the SD 3.5 results from the previous video, so let's get through this first. As you can see, the AMD card was the clear winner last time. And looking at the recent results, we find an even bigger lead with the 9060 XT performing over 3 times faster than the 3060. But again, this model isn't too relevant, so let's move on to SDXL. Higher is better here, and we find the 9060 XT takes another solid win with a score of 2.71 iterations per second versus the 3060 which scored 1.58, making the 9060 XT nearly 70% faster here. Also, I should mention the latest version of Comfy UI has a bug that only happens with AMD cards. The Comfy UI server would crash every time I tried to generate more than 3 images. I was able to resolve this by running the server with this parameter, but again, this was only needed for the 9060 XT. Now let's move on to YOLO object detection. In the previous video, I tested the YOLO 11S model using the built-in benchmark in the Ultralytics package. The results give the inference time, so lower is better here. Also, Nvidia cards support the TensorRT backend, so I included that just to show how much of a difference it can make. TensorRT delivered an inference time of only 4.51 milliseconds compared to 31.4 for the PyTorch backend, while the 9060 XT fell in last place with a time of 34.17. Now let's look at the recent results. Here you can see the tables have turned once again, with the 9060 XT giving an inference time of only 21.46 milliseconds versus the 3060 which scored 26.57. It's interesting how the 3060's performance did improve, but not nearly as much as the 9060 XT did. I should also mention that I could not get TensorRT working this time around. Normally, TensorRT is simply installed using pip, but it seems there's currently a bug preventing it from installing. It just goes to show that even though Nvidia historically has had the best software support, it's not always perfect, and annoying problems like this can still happen. But now let's move on to the results for YOLO26, which is the newest version that was recently released and was not available when I made the last video. Here we find more or less the same results as before. Both scores are slightly worse here, but AMD still has a convincing lead. But of course, if you can manage to get TensorRT installed, then Nvidia is still the clear winner for object detection. Keep in mind that even if you do get TensorRT installed, you still need to go out of your way to convert models and deal with a number of other restrictions. So if your goal is to get up and running as quickly as possible, then you'll probably want to avoid TensorRT. But now let's move on to LLMs. In the previous video, I tested this using Llama.cpp with the Vulkan backend, in addition to CUDA. The model that was tested was a Dolphin 3.0 8 billion parameter model. As you can see, the results showed that the 9060 XT barely won. However, this only shows half the story. What you're looking at now is a sampling time metric, which is useful, but I forgot to also include the eval metric, which is arguably more useful. So here's the eval time from the previous tests. As you can see, the RTX 3060 managed to take a small lead in this metric. Now, when I made that video, there was no built-in benchmark utility in Llama.cpp. But these days there is, so that's what I use this time around. The built-in benchmark provides two metrics, PP512 and TG128. Let's start with the PP512 metric, which is comparable to the sampling time, or in other words, how long it takes for the LLM to start responding. The score is given in tokens per second, so higher is better here. As you can see, the 9060 XT barely won, similar to last time. I believe the reason why the results are more or less the same compared to last time is because the Vulkan backend was already optimized for AMD back then. But this time around, I also tested the ROCm backend, but it's interesting how its performance was not as good as Vulkan. However, that was not the case for Nvidia, as its performance is much better using CUDA compared to Vulkan. Now let's move on to the TG128 metric, which is comparable to the eval metric. This tells you how fast it's able to generate text after it begins the initial response. And it turns out the Nvidia GPU won this metric once again. I believe the 3060's wider memory bus gives it an advantage when it comes to LLMs, which is why we see more or less the same results as last time. Alright, so that wraps up the AI benchmarks. It's nice to see that AMD has made some big improvements and is finally becoming truly competitive in the AI world. Having more competition is never a bad thing for consumers. But with that said, the PC market is just a complete disaster right now, and I'm sure all of you know. But to be honest, I'm kind of scared for the future, and in several years, it's possible that it might be a completely different world than we are in now. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I have some exciting projects planned for the channel, including this auto-tracking pan and tilt camera that utilizes YOLO object detection. I'm planning to add a bunch of new features, and will be making videos about it so that you can follow along. So if you want to learn more about programming and engineering, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. And if you want to help out the channel, check out my store or the other links that are in the video description. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.